Hey guys, it's Talilan, and I want to do what every Wuthering Waves creator is doing, and that's talking about my opinions on the Wuthering Waves Anniversary content. I personally think that there are some pretty easy ways for them to make this a better anniversary with some minimal changes that will still make them money, since they are a company and, well, companies need to somehow keep the lights on and make money. But also, if you have ideas or feedback that you want the devs to see, then go check out the official Discord. I'd seen a post earlier in the day of someone showing that I believe there was a channel they created for anniversary feedback and criticism. And if you're gonna do that in their Discord, then please just be respectful, because anyone can be a dick. And if you just say it's bad or it's garbage and you give no feedback, then you're just being rude. But if you're gonna give criticism, at least make it constructive criticism, because we want to keep everything constructive so that we can improve the game that we enjoy. For some constructive criticism of my own, I think I would like to start with the anniversary convene. While initially I'm not the biggest fan of this, since I think that it does tend to make it a little harder for players, since most every 5-star unit in the game so far is up for selection, and their weapons will be up for selection. This is also competing with the Zani banner, so that'll make it a little tough for newer players to pick, in my opinion. Now, what I think they could do to make a change to these that would be really good is they could reduce the pity from like 80 to 40 to get the guaranteed 5-star of your choice, and they could make that first 5-star you get the 5-star you selected. Then it turns to the normal 80 pity with a 50-50 to get, you know, one of the standard banner units, or maybe they could even change it to where you can select 3 of the other units that could be your 50-50 units while pulling on that banner. Or they could make the pulls discounted, similar to the beginner banner. Or they could make it something like, for the first 40 pulls, you only spend 5 actual pulls to get 10 pulls. So really, you're spending 20 wishes to get 40 pulls, which would be really good, because that's already half the pity to get to the 5-star you chose, which would both make them money and could help newer players fill out their roster with elemental coverages and just units that they need. Another thing that I would like them to change with this anniversary is the main stat reroll for echoes. This just feels really worthless in my opinion, because the core gameplay that at least drew me to WUWA is that when we want to build our units, we want them to be as good as they can be. And you can basically infinitely farm echoes for their main stat already in the open world. You can perma farm 4-cost echoes from the bosses, and for the 1 and 3 costs, you can clear your world of all the echoes for the desired sets that you want. And then you can join co-op world, also clear their content, so on and so forth, until you have a surplus of the main stats that you want for the sets that you desire. Since you can already do that, why make a main stat reroll item? Instead, I think we should have done a substat reroll item, because there are so many pieces that I personally have that are like 1 or 2 stat lines away from just being absolutely perfect. And if we had substat rerollers that we could either farm for, or they could just attach to events, then I think that would be a more enticing item, because more people want the substat reroller, or I would at least assume that. Now, in terms of wishes, we are getting roughly, I believe it was like 36.7-ish wishes, but we can just say 37 for the sake of simplicity, which isn't too bad, since I don't believe that's including all the astrite from the other events and activities that will be coming to give us more wishes throughout the patch. So I think it's a fairly decent amount of pulls for the patch, but that's just my opinion there. One of the biggest positives, in my opinion, that I think people are overlooking is we are getting a good amount of content to do in the anniversary, and I think that alone is really good, because getting more things to do with the units we pull for and more actual gameplay is a very good thing. And it's the entire reason we just log in, and the entire reason we want to min-max units, because we want them to be as good as they can be for when we get to use them. So having more reasons to use units you like is always good. More gameplay is never going to be a bad thing, in my opinion, and I think that's a really good thing, and I think people are just overlooking that. I believe people are complaining that we aren't getting a free 5-star unit, because in the recent Genshin Impact anniversary, we did get a 5-star selector for some of the standard banner characters, and in the HSR anniversary patch, they did get a Ruan Mei or Luocha for free. So I think Wuthering Waves players were just expecting some sort of free 5-star. That doesn't necessarily matter to me all that much personally, and I know pitchforks, please put them away and hear me out, but to me, Since I am a day one player, I have all the units that I actually want, and all the units I don't have outside of Brant are units I purposefully skipped because I just don't really care about them that much. Now, not everyone is that way, and there are a lot of people who are just collectors but aren't whales. So in that regard, sure, I guess it kind of sucks that we didn't get a free 5-star, but in my opinion, it's not really the end of the world. Now, my absolutely favorite part of this entire anniversary is the Carlotta and Changli skins. These are my girls. Carlotta is my main. She is my favorite gacha unit in any gacha game I have ever played. I have played her every single day since her banner. I love this unit so much. I can't tell you why, because I don't completely understand why I'm so infatuated with this short queen, but I absolutely love her. And I also, more often than not, do play Changli Carlotta quick swap because it's just really fun, even though I'm still not the best at it because I typically just use Carlotta hyper carry because I use Changli on other teams. Carlotta and Changli are still some of my favorite team comps in the game, and the fact that both my girls are getting really pretty skins just makes me really happy because I really like them both and I will be getting them both. Now, I do have a slight concern though. If we look at the Carlotta skin, she is showing a lot of bare skin around the bottom. And as we saw with the Fleur de Lis boss censorship, they changed her, I guess, normal panty design to a shorts design, which that's really fine. I didn't really even notice it, if I'm completely honest, because that's not what I look for when I play this game. Call me crazy, but I honestly didn't even notice. And if someone didn't point out that change ever happened, I would have never known. I am being so serious. But I am slightly worried that they may get the Carlotta skin censored, and the only reason that worries me is not because of like any goon or take or anything like that. It's just I don't see how they could take this skin and how revealing it is at the bottom and just slap shorts on it like they did with Fleur de Lis and then call it a day, especially since this is a product that you're paying for. So if you paid for the skin and then a few days later it gets censored, which completely changes how the skin looks fundamentally to you, then a product you have purchased has now been altered in a way you don't want, and you don't have a way to refund it. So that would just be both a really bad look for Kuro, but also just a really bad feeling for all the players. And I don't want that to happen to anyone. I don't want the censorship hammer to hit these skins and that just be an issue for Kuro to have to deal with, and an issue for the players that have the skins to have to deal with. I want to avoid that entire headache. And if these skins completely dodge the censor hammer and stay as hot as they are, I'm super happy because I love both these skins. They're absolutely beautiful in my opinion. I saw some people weren't super excited about the water pistols or squirt guns or whatever. I kind of agree. I don't hate them and I think they're cute. It's a cute idea, cute little fun summer idea. But if it's anything like the Jinsei skin, you can turn off the weapon skin. So you can use the beach skin with her pistols. Now this could be changed and not the case, but I would assume it would follow suit to the Jinsei skin. But that's just an assumption and we won't know until we actually have it on April 29th. Overall, I think if they would just change the main stat Echo Reroller to a substat one and give us some of those changes I mentioned to the anniversary convene and discount it, I think that would be really good improvements, and I think that would make this anniversary significantly better and pretty good. And I'm not trying to shill for the game or anything like that. I simply am trying to see it in a more positive side of things, because I can be butthurt, I can be angry, and I can scream into the void of Twitter or X or whatever, but it's not going to change the fact of the matter that I do not have the personal power to solo make these changes that I want to happen to the game. Again, go to the Discord, please be respectful and leave your constructive criticism and comments there, where you have a better chance to be seen by the devs and make an impact, and then we'll see what they decide to do. Let me know what you guys think below. Do you think the Carlotta and Changli skin are worth your money? Do you think they're beautiful? Are you mad about the rewards? Are you fairly happy with the rewards? Let me know. You're all beautiful. You're all handsome. I hope you have a good day or night, and I'll see you in the next one.